Day 4 was unforgettable in Montreal, an underground discovery that blew my mind, a shocking twist that broke my heart, and then, just when I thought I'd seen it all, the city brushed me with stardust and poured on the glamour, with a few decadent surprises along the way. This finale is pure Montreal magic. You don't want to miss it. Coming up. We just finished one of the probably best museums in all of Montreal. It's called the Pointe à Calliere, and it is an archaeological and historical museum that showcases the origins of Montreal from a European perspective, but also from an indigenous perspective as well. What's really fascinating about this museum is that it's a campus site. So there's 4 or 5 buildings that actually comprise the museum, and a lot of it is subterranean, with a lot of the archaeological digs and excavation sites visible for you to see, and that's what makes it very interesting. I really appreciate the incredible way that they showcase the exhibition and the information. There's a lot of pleasant interactivity and stimulation. There's light shows, there's 3D models, there's movies, and there's sounds and songs that really aid in kind of immersing you in this incredible experience. And this is the museum that I would recommend you seeing first. If you know nothing about Montreal and you're truly a beginner into Canada or Quebec, you want to know a little bit more, this is a place to start. It gives you the origins of Montreal. You are literally at ground zero of where the first French settlement happened. And from there, you can begin building your experience with Montreal. And that's Pointe à Calliere. We had lunch in Old Montreal at Marcella Dinette, an upscale Italian eatery on Rue St. Paul West. The first impression wows you. Its decor is smart, elegant, but also understated in that way that makes everything about this place achingly cool. And the food is definitely OMG. We started off with some bruschetta, which impressed, followed by some ravioli for the home run. Everything tasted fresh, and it's so easy when you can go into a restaurant and tell that the chef and owner love making food in a beautiful space, because Marcella is that place. If you're in Old Montreal, make sure you come here. Definitely make a resi for dinner and check it out. So one of the spots that you want to take a walk on is Rue de St. Paul in Old Montreal. It has a lot of one-of-a-kind boutiques, and it has cafes, it has restaurants. It has a little bit of everything, including tons of tourist souvenir shops too. But it's a really nice, upscale kind of experience if you're a beginner at Montreal, and you get to kind of just soak in a lot of the old Montreal vibes. That includes the old architecture, a lot of the old stonework you just don't see anymore in buildings today. It's really a great experience to just kind of immerse yourself and soak up a lot of what Old Montreal is about. So if you're looking to do something cool for first-timers in Montreal and you're at the Place d'Armes, which is right across from Notre Dame, on the other side behind me right there is the Bank of Montreal, one of the older, versions of it. Back in the heyday, Bank of Montreal is one of the oldest banks, is the oldest bank in Canada, I should say. Started in 1817, and at one of the heights of their splendor, they built this Beaux-Arts beauty right behind me. And inside, it's still a working bank, but inside they also have a museum where you can learn a little bit about its history, and you can really indulge in the interior decor. It is lavish, it is beautiful, it's ceremonial, it looks amazing. There's this incredible statue and pillars, and you can get a beautiful grace of the rotundas. It's incredible. You don't want to miss it, and best of all, it's free. It takes about 30 minutes to go in, and what you want to do is you go into the doors and then you're going to turn left, and then you'll see the entrance to the museum. It's one room. It's really cool. Shows you all the different history and currency. It's something special, something that you might enjoy. All right, I am standing on the corners of Rue Baudry and Rue Saint Catherine, and that is at the epicenter of Les Villages, which is the nexus point for everything LGBTQ+. This is, Les Villages is the LGBTQ center where a lot of the community lived historically. Now, people live everywhere. They don't necessarily just live here in Les Villages, but it has a huge historical significance, and you still have a lot of gay bars, gay restaurants, and shopping that you can do here, and we're going to show you around. One of the great things about St. Catherine Street, which is where I'm standing, is that it's blocked off to traffic, especially if you get off here at the Baudry metro station. So, corner of Baudry and St. Catherine is where you want to be, and then what you can do is you can just walk up down the street, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you around. I have to say that I was going to cover this as part of my story in terms of Montreal for beginners, but I'm not going to actually recommend it. You know, I've been to Montreal on and off. I've been to Montreal plenty of times. I started coming here in 2001. And 2001, this was a much different place. Here now, there's tons of signs for storefronts that are for rent. Half of them seem empty, and the ones that don't seem empty seem closed. And shockingly, there's tons, well, not tons, but there's a lot of people who appear to be, you know, on drugs and or homeless. I mean, that is very prominent. And it just makes me wonder, like, maybe this is becoming the victim of a larger kind of form of success where there's not really a need in Montreal or Quebec for a specific community related to LGBTQ+ because it's so widely accepted. And so many of us have just kind of moved everywhere in Montreal and in Quebec. And same for the Northeast in the United States. And it just kind of makes me wonder if, you know, there's a need for this anymore. And it seems like the economics are already answering the question as we're kind of, I feel like we're in the middle of a de-evolution, almost like a breaking down of this community it just seems really, really sad is kind of like the way that I would describe it. It's really sad. The vibrancy, what made it so special is gone. So yeah. All right. After the serious heartbreak of finding Les Villages hit by hard times, teetering on the brink of becoming a new Skid Row, we needed a pick-me-up, and fortunately we found it at the Ritz. The Ritz was nearby the Omni, and so we thought, why not? I mean, it's the Ritz. The restaurant was fully booked, but they do have a lobby bar that also functions like a low-key restaurant. And that was, of course, beautiful and wondrous. Hello, it's the Ritz. We enjoyed French onion soup, steak, and mashed potatoes, which I only remember to photograph after eating, and some kind of dessert tart confection. It was all perfect. Exactly what we were hoping for. If you want some major glamour dust sprinkled on your Montreal adventure, definitely have dinner at the Ritz. You won't regret it. And that was that. Our Montreal adventure had come to a close. We went back to the hotel, packed, and then we woke up at 3 in the morning to check out and go back home to New York. While there was some definite heartbreak with Les Villages, I was seriously grateful to have made a return back to Montreal, a place that I have visited for almost 25 years now, and which holds a special place in my heart. I love you, Quebec. Merci beaucoup. Je me souviens.